Why hire a common soldier to protect you when you can have a master of the arcane? With a master of magic at your side, you'll have nothing to fear. If I have to. Cyrodiil, Coral, if you want to be precise. My family ran a textile business there. We struck a good deal with the Vici and made enough that we could buy a whole village if we wanted. You know what they say about second sons. My elder brother was enough for our parents, apparently. So instead, they sent me off to the synod. To get proper magical training, they told me. Bollocks. They wanted me to get into imperial politics through those imposters, then win favors for their precious heir. One of the successor groups of the Mages Guild after the massacre at the Arcane University. But honestly, their daily routine comprises of licking the Vici's backside and singing the Emperor's praises. Magic is almost an afterthought. More than most of those pretenders who dared call themselves mages. At 2, I melted ice with a thought. At 5, I turned frogs to stone. And by 8, I made lightning and fire dance to my whim. And still, they chose my brother simply because he was older by a whopping 2 years. If you spend 3 days a week at balls and the other 4 at vain meetings, it would be a miracle indeed for any real competence to arise. To grant my dear parents and brother the satisfaction? Never. While the so-called masters and scribes ran about, trading favors between noble houses, I was in my dormitory, reading and training. And that, my friend, is why I never advanced beyond the rank of apprentice, a title I wear with pride. This may be a bit awkward to say, but it's because my father cut me off. He is old and selfish, but the textile baron ain't stupid. Years as an apprentice when far inferior mages had made scribes, he saw right through it. Until I return to the path he expects me to walk and become a good little pup to my brother, he may as well have only one son. I didn't have to live off his money, but there comes a time when conjured bread grows revolting, you know. You know what they say? Where there's chaos and death, there's profit to be made, especially for someone who can fight. Might even work for the Blackbriars once I've built up my reputation. No slighting your patronage, of course. Who isn't nowadays? For those who could afford my service, at least. I'm a man of pride. Morals can be left to those who can afford it. The problem is that they don't want to make peace with me. I'll never give them what they want, nor will they ever see me as anything but the extra son, stepping stone for their eldest. I say screw that. I am a prodigy of magic. I don't need to be a subsidiary to some mundane textile baron. Let me ask you this. Have you ever tried to prove your value to someone? You trained, battled, forced yourself to be better just to see their approving smile. But then it turns out they never cared to approve or disapprove at all. Your success, your failure, all irrelevant. You ask me why I hate my family's plan? It's because I'm constantly reminded that for all the gifts I possess, I only live for someone else's glory. The better question would be, have I ever not felt alone? My family might have been whole, but what truly raised me was magic. It was my entire childhood. The one thing that never failed me. Was it a lonely life? Perhaps. But I wanted nothing else. A life with my family would have been one to serve their interests. It'd be no life at all. You'd think such a thing would be obvious, but I assure you, most mages are oblivious to anything that's not magical. So was I until recent times. I suppose that's the curse of a genius. You're so convinced you lack for nothing, never realizing what you've missed out on. Oh, my parents tried to set me up with some noble women, all right. Hardly people I'd call special, though, what with the base topics in their heads. Unlike you. All the skills I have, and you're the first one to truly appreciate them. I've never felt this way with anyone, you know. How do I even begin to describe it? Appreciated, trusted, wanted. I guess that's the word. I think my father's greatest dream is for the Emperor to recognize our name. I suppose he will, before he dies anyway. Every time I dined with a synod, they drool over the prospect of a Vici's favor. Killing one of them will be so gratifying. I don't even know why clowns exist. The average man already lives a life of sufficient absurdity. Any fool can blow up a lab, but it takes a perverse kind of genius to fail so spectacularly that you're reduced to a talking light orb. A synod? Doing an actual research in a Dwemer ruin? Gods forbid, they're finally doing magic. I've heard of the moth priests, chained to a tower for life, living only for the Emperor's will. I'd rather die. Parents expected me to walk the path they laid out, my own dreams be damned. In that, I understand Serana all too well. The Vampire Lord's a fool to try and darken the sun, and a bigger fool to challenge a master wizard. And you. The Dunmer wizard thinks he's better than anyone, but he isn't even... All right, he's better than me, but that's only because of his tenure.